Hey, today we're talking about Amazon FBA and Ecom Dave. So this is a really interesting course. If you're looking into potentially purchasing this from Dave, it's a great idea to look into this a little bit deeper and see if he is going to cover the things that you need answers for. So we're going to cover that in this video, and we're going to talk about the Amazon FBA business model, as well as introduce a different business model that has far more potential for passive income. So stick around towards the end and we're going to cover that.
David Scheuer, better known as Ecom Dave, offers personal coaching and academy training modules on building a profitable Amazon FBA business. The personal coaching program costs $4,000+, while the academy is priced at $999. It's sometimes offered for $499. Ecom Dave's programs promise profitability ranging from $1,000 to $120,000 per month, as evidenced by numerous testimonials on his website.
This is a really wide range of results to see from a course, which isn't necessarily a suspicious factor or anything. It is just a sign to remember to always have perspective on potential profitability, especially when it comes to Amazon FBA. Some people end up having extreme success right off the bat, while others could take years just getting to that $1,000 a month mark. So if you're not ready to put in the money to give yourself the edge to boost your chance of success, Amazon FBA may be a really slow road.
Dave's programs have both pros and cons that potential students should consider. The program's training modules are comprehensive and covers all aspects of an Amazon FBA business. Ecom Dave's coaching and support are highly praised by students. His website features a wide range of interview-style testimonials showcasing students' profitability. One of the reasons students like him is that he's always been transparent in sharing his numbers. However, not all that has been said about Ecom Dave is good. People question the authenticity of the testimonials because they're mostly found on the site. This means the testimonials could be biased or solicited. Ecom Dave does not adequately address the costly Amazon FBA fees on the training modules. This could mislead students. It may also take over 3 months to sell the first product on your Amazon store. It requires significant commitment and patience. Getting products on the first page of Amazon can also cost over $400.
Now, if you're going to get into Amazon FBA, you have to make sure that you fully understand the fees that are involved. Amazon is a great platform. It gets your product in front of a lot of customers if you put in enough money, which gets into how complicated this marketplace is, but we'll get into that later. Amazon FBA fees, you are going to have to plan for at least 15% of your product selling price going towards Amazon FBA fees. And that is kind of like the basis. Depending on what you're selling, that can go up from there. So if you're diving into this, make sure that you fully understand and have resources that cover Amazon FBA fees. Again, it takes a lot of time for these products to get onto the first page. If you don't want to wait that 3 months, which is not a guarantee, you could be waiting far longer than 3 months. If you want to skip that, you can put down the money for Amazon ads and promote your products via sponsored links. However, that is also going to add to your upfront investment costs with no promise of a return.
David Scheuer is a 6-figure Amazon seller and FBA coach. He earned his business degree from Florida International University and worked as a bartender in Miami before venturing into Amazon FBA. Dave started Amazon FBA as a side hustle. He invested $4,800 at 18 years old. He had a rough start and lost about $20,000 because of poor product choices and bad suppliers. Over the years, Dave regained momentum and rebuilt his business. He has sold over $5 million worth of merchandise in 5 years.
I really like that Dave has shared his story online. First of all, to show that he is a verified expert, which is awesome. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the trenches, but it also provides kind of a chilling, realistic tale of how Amazon FBA really can be. So you may not come across issues like this, as in losing $20,000, because you are taking the steps to research courses and find people online that can help you who have been there and have faced these similar challenges. So that can really shorten your learning curve, which is great. However, sometimes it is just not in the cards. The situation that Dave found himself in, you can have all the good advice in the world, but if the suppliers screw you over, or you can't find the right supplier, or you lose your product due to whatever circumstance, it can be completely out of your control and you will be out of that however many thousands of dollars you invested.
Dave's programs focus on 3 key areas: finding profitable products, sourcing from elite suppliers, and ranking products on Amazon's first page. He provides a step-by-step guide covering setting up an Amazon seller account, selecting high-quality products, using Alibaba for product creation, negotiating with suppliers, and managing Amazon listings and PPC ads. He also guides students on expanding their business and monetizing their knowledge.
So the specific business model that Dave is talking about here is Amazon FBA private labeling, which deserves a distinction. So if you're ordering products from Alibaba and selling them on Amazon, what you're doing is essentially creating your own brand and branding that product. Maybe you're adjusting the product somehow beyond Alibaba, but you're turning that around with your brand, with your face if you choose, and that is what you're selling. So it's different from, say, wholesaling, where you're taking another established brand's products and reselling them at a higher cost. That is not what we're talking about here. When we are doing private labeling, there are higher costs for branding, for ads. If you are selling a branded item, say a famous shoe company, you're reselling that as a wholesale, you wouldn't have to do as much advertising, possibly, because the name is already out there. But with this, you are pushing your own brand, your own idea. And so overall, there's just higher costs. Now, I do also want to say that I appreciate that Ecom Dave works towards helping students scale. At the end of the day, you don't want to be stagnant. You want to move with the trends in the market. And this is especially important with Amazon FBA.
Some of Dave's students report making $1,000 to $120,000. Dave's own sales figures show impressive growth from $64,449 in his first year to $496,772.28 in recent years. Some students have reported hidden costs and difficulties in dealing with international suppliers. There are concerns about Amazon copying successful products and the significant investment required for marketing and ranking on Amazon. A detailed online review noted dissatisfaction due to the emphasis on revenue rather than net income and the high initial investment without guaranteed returns.
This is essential learning that you need to understand before you start Amazon FBA. And so not having this covered, if this review was correct, is a possibly major red flag. However, it does just take some logic to understand that when you're getting into this kind of a business, yes, you want to aim for revenue, but you can't just push for revenue and expect to have a net profit that you can live off of. So I would suggest going into this understanding that from day one, instead of expecting to have gurus online for Amazon FBA teaching you to look at it that way. Specifically for this course, it looks like the angle is to push for high revenue. So going into that, keep in mind that the higher the revenue, probably the higher of the initial investment you're going to have, higher risk, and so you could lose a lot, but you could have a very high return.
Ecom Dave's programs offer a thorough introduction to Amazon FBA. It's particularly beneficial for beginners who need a detailed guide on starting an FBA biz. However, prospective students should be aware of the potential costs and challenges of the business model. This includes the high upfront investment and the highly competitive Amazon marketplace.
So we've already covered suppliers and the high costs that's involved with Amazon FBA private label. Another thing to keep in mind is that Amazon is a private label brand, and your product will be in front of thousands of other private label brands that can swoop in and take your idea. Amazon has done this before where they've seen a very successful product, and of course they are going to want to push their own product above people using their platform. So that's a major thing to consider when going into private label. And that goes hand in hand with the high competition involved. When you enter Amazon FBA, you are competing against a global market. And that global market is selling products, and most of these products are not things that people need every day. So trends go in and out. And if you pick the wrong product and the trend goes away from that product, you could be out your whole inventory. For these reasons and for other reasons, we have moved to a different business model called local lead generation. And this business model completely eliminates many of the challenges that we've talked about today. So first of all, it is set in a local area rather than a global market. And we work on promoting services rather than products. So people in a local area will always need the things that they need to survive, like plumbing and roofers and, say, tree stump removal services. Those will not trend away. And so you're not competing against thousands of other people. You are promoting things that people always need, and you're doing that via a website that you rank and rent out to small businesses. This is far lower cost. Depending on how many websites you want to create off the bat, it just does not compare to how expensive it is to purchase an Amazon FBA private label product, create ads for it, get it ordered, get it into a Amazon FBA warehouse, pay those inventory fees. This is far less of initial cost. There are many other reasons to consider local lead generation. And so if this sounds interesting, I would definitely suggest checking out the link in the description below.